What's up, everybody? Welcome back for a long overdue episode of the BroTech Gaming Podcast. Our last update was August of last year. Uh, Lots happened since then. Was good, Carlos?
What's up, man? Happy New Year's, everybody. I know it's been a while. Merry Christmas.
It's been a minute.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Halloween. We missed all of that.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah,
Happy Hanukkah.
man, that's crazy.
Like our job, they wouldn't even say Christmas. It was just like anything holiday. Like everybody was mad. They felt like they weren't allowed to say Christmas ever.
Man,
Like,
that's
okay,
like super PC.
it's a little extra, but whatever. So yeah, it's been a minute. I think we've always kind of wanted to upstart the podcast again, but I mean, things have been going on. Things have been a little busy. I don't know if y'all can tell from my little background. Look at the holes on the wall. Moved into a house. Me and Michelle got a house. So
Congratulations.
yay. Thank you. It's kind of what sidetracked us for a bit. So, but we're back. There's a lot of echo in here. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, you need to get some wall paneling or something.
Yeah, we're gonna need legit panels at this point, or I'll just podcast in the closet.
So how was the whole process of moving in?
Do you want a long version or the short version?
Give me like a medium version.
So medium version is we were trying to get a house since basically like June of last year. We were gonna get a house in Roseman, but like a bunch of drama that kind of all fell through. We were getting kind of screwed. So we were just gonna leave it alone. Just kind of wait till 2024, and then like one day on the way home from Sacramento, this is in like I want to say it was like late October, almost early November. We're like, let's go take a look at these houses that they're building. So we stopped by at a new build in Lancaster and saw a house, liked the house, started the process, and we got in a month later. Like it only took a month for us to get into the house, and the other one we were looking at was kind of stringing us along like month after month after month, which made absolutely no sense. Come to find out that company sold to another company, and like we were basically just like shit out of luck for a house. So yeah, so we ended up with this one. So we'll put some B-roll up one of these days, do a little tour. But yeah,
Yeah,
new
that sounds
home.
good. It was crazy is that like you were supposed to move in like the neighborhood right behind us where they're building the houses,
Yeah,
and
it was bittersweet.
they barely started putting up the house. Like they barely have wood going up.
Yeah, I saw Karen's picture, and I'm just like, is that even the same house, bro? Like, I don't even know if they're using the same floor plan, because they didn't even have like the dirt like dug out yet for our other house. Like it was nothing. So I'm kind of curious, like what the new process is for the new build. But I mean, like I don't want to think about it because it's like we got this house now, so I don't want to think about the what ifs when like we can enjoy this one. So, but we love the house.
Yeah, it's a really nice house.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Helped you move in and everything.
I mean, mostly we're like 60% moved in because like it was twice as bigger. This is twice bigger than our apartment, so that's only the amount of stuff we had to move into it. So there's a lot of empty spaces, a lot of empty corridors. It still feels weird thinking of mortgage versus rent. I still feel like we're paying rent, but it's a transition. The show.
Yeah, I was in the same boat with you. Like when we moved in, so me and Karen, all we had was just our stuff in our rooms. Like we had 2 rooms to fill up a whole house, so our house was like super empty. And now I feel like it's we have too much stuff now.
Yeah, like we're trying to keep that balance, like in between. Plus, most of the stuff that I want to move in is like my stuff and not Michelle's stuff. So I have to be careful how much stuff I move in. She's like, no,
Yeah,
you can't have that. You can't put that there.
all your collectibles.
All my collectibles, man. Like you get this little space. Just kidding. I'm slowly like migrating things into the office space. So, what about you, Carlos? What's new, bro? What's been going on? Anything exciting in your life?
Not really exciting, but so last year they terminated my shift at my old job, so no more work for me, at least
And
there.
when did they terminate your shift?
That was in November. So it was like right before Thanksgiving, like kind of like at the
Yeah.
beginning of the month. And it's crazy because I planned a trip to El Salvador, so we still went. Like I'm on vacation, no job, but they still gave me like a severance package for a couple months, so it wasn't that bad. It was like a nice gesture for me to transition into unemployment, which I'm on right now. And I've done like applications and stuff like that, so I'm not too
So,
worried. I know something's gonna come up.
so otherwise, you've been spending a lot of free time like ranking up in Apex and Warzone. Bleh. Warzone. I watched you streaming Warzone the other day. I'm just like, why, bro? I'm like, why?
Okay, so the only reason I was really heavy into Warzone is because I was waiting for the new Apex season. Once the Apex season gets down to like its last couple days before the new one comes out, it gets very boring. There's really no point to grind rank because it's gonna reset. So I just wanted to feel something different. And honestly, Warzone is not that bad once you get like a custom gun and like you put your attachments on there.
No.
It's actually pretty fun to run.
You've been watching those Spiros like build videos, meta class videos.
No, I
Put this
actually,
attachment, this
I actually,
attachment.
no, I actually unfollowed him because he got kind of annoying.
Yeah, he's kind of weird now. It was funny, dude, because you were actually streaming Warzone one day, and I guess it's like a new feature where I have to like be verified even when I'm like in your stream to like leave comments or something. Like it was weird. I think it's because I was watching from another device. I think I was trying to watch from the iPad, but it wasn't letting me leave comments, which is probably a good thing because like I'm watching you, bro, and like you're doing all this like crazy movement and shit, like turning, like opening like care packages, swapping guns, moving, sliding, jumping, and hopping. And the dude comes around the corner and just like ends your ass like so fast. I'm
Yeah,
like, what was all that movement for, bro? Like, you died so fast. Like I swear he put like 3 bullets into you and you were just done already. But I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, I don't want to play Warzone. Not for
yeah. I
me.
mean, the TTK on Warzone, it's really crazy. It's really high.
Mhm.
If somebody shoots you from behind, like you're pretty much dead, unless you have
Yeah.
like that really like bomb ass movement where you can like zigzag and get away and throw smokes and jump away. Like, there's technique to it. I don't play it that much to have that
Oh,
technique
you
down
were
yet.
you were doing that movement, Carlos. I saw you doing that movement.
Yeah.
I did hear that they're gonna increase the health regen. Because I guess right now it's like 7.7 seconds or something for a regen, and they're moving it to like 5 seconds or something, like 5.2. So the health regen is gonna be faster, but it's just I don't know, man. Till now, I still haven't even downloaded the new Warzone. You know, which I guess we've already been talking about it. Like we can talk about some gaming stuff now. But honestly, the only game I'm playing consistently, I guess you could call it competitive wise, is just Fortnite. And like you've been hopping on Fortnite with me and Michelle sometimes too. So I'm still having fun with Fortnite, even with all the updates.
Yeah, Fortnite's been really fun. They even had the restart. They went to like season 0 or something like that.
The OG, they did the OG map, which technically it wasn't even really like the true like first map. It was sort of like season 2 chapter 4 or something like that. It's basically like the end of the original map before they swapped it to like another map. So it technically was a little misleading. Like it was the OG map, but it was like the OG map in like later chapters, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
that does make sense. Cause I remember when I first played Fortnite, there was like a big ass mountain like on the left side of the map that you can land on, and that mountain was like really big, and it wasn't there. Cause that was like the first thing I was looking at when I dropped in the map, and I was like, this isn't the same map.
yeah. But I mean it was a cool event just to get kind of people back into the game and playing it again. So yeah, so besides Warzone, and then like chopping it up with me and Michelle on Fortnite, what other games have you been playing?
So recently I've been really heavy into Apex since the new season 20 that dropped on Tuesday. It was like February 13th. Yeah, 13.
Mhm.
And so they have a new ranking system They have a new ability system. They have a new shield system. There's no more shield swaps. They switched it to like shield cores now.
I heard about that. I heard about that was kind of a major mechanic too, man. Like shield swapping was kind of like that was always the first thing you did as soon as you were like done with a fight is you got to swap, like you shield swap, you know. So it's kind of crazy that they decided to get rid of that.
Yeah, so I mean they did get rid of shield swapping, but as far as like putting new shields into your shield, it's kind of the same because when you go into the box, there's things called shield cores that you can grab and it'll refill your shield. So it's like if you have a blue shield and you kill somebody with a purple shield, like you still have a blue shield, but it'll give you like an extra little like temporary bar from that purple shield, but that bar does go back down.
Kind of weird. It's like it's just a temporary overshield, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
So everybody drops with the white shield, and it's just more incentive to fight, basically. So it's like if you're ratting all the way to the end, you're gonna be a white shield against a red shields. So
okay, and they changed a few other things too, right? With like the legends and abilities and stuff.
yeah, so now so every time you upgrade your Evo shield, say if you go from white to blue, it gives you a choice of what ability you want to upgrade on your specific character. So every legend has their own abilities, so it'll give you a different ability for every character. We'll say for like Loba, like her ult will either charge faster or like her ult span will be greater, so she'll be able to see more and get more into her ult. So it does that twice. It does that when you go from white to blue and blue to purple, but not from purple to red, because you only get 2 upgrades.
Do you feel like it sort of changes the flow of gunfights now? Like, do you still kind of move at the same pace, or do you feel like now with all the changes and ability like upgrades, it kind of changes the way like the flow of the battlefield is?
The flow, yeah, I would say definitely, because more people are getting engaged. There's more third parties, fifth parties, seventh parties, all of that. Like everybody drops in the same spot, and it's just very hectic. But as far as like the abilities changing anything, I don't feel like it does. I know what's her face, the one Valkyrie. So it kind of changes like her output for the rockets that come out. I guess it changes it from like 5.7 from like 2.5, something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but I guess it gives her a little bit more rockets. And then on the other side, it lets you jump higher. Like when you use her ult, it's like 25% higher, which is cool. And then there's another one where you can control her thrusters a little bit better, like when you're jumping.
That's kind of funny because it's like that was one of the things that they nerfed in her when she was sort of like the meta, that like whenever she did her like rocket jump or whatever, like it was too high, so everyone's like, no, you got to nerf her, so they nerfed it. It's like, okay, well, I guess it's cool they brought it back, but they brought it back as like a perk upgrade. But I mean, it's cool. I should get down on Apex again.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. So a big change that they did take out tap strafing.
Oh, I heard, but I thought it was for controller players. Is it for keyboard and mouse players too?
No, they keyboard and mouse still have it. Controller players don't.
I don't even know how to tap strafe, bro. Like on freaking like.
Yeah, I heard it was really hard to do it on controller.
And I don't even think it was a true tap strafe. It was almost like a little like side bump movement. Like it wasn't like true. Like when you got people like fucking like zigzagging at you like up the battlefield, like I didn't see anybody doing that with controller. They would get off like one good tap strafe. Mouse and keyboard players are just different, man. I actually tried to do it with mouse and keyboard, like learn how to tap strafe. I watched 3 different tutorials and I was getting a cramp in my hand. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to the sticks.
Yeah, I've never even tried mouse and keyboard. I think I tried it like in the the shoot around place. But like I feel like I'm pushing every button because I start to get confused.
Like my freaking hand was like turning into like a claw, bro. I'm trying to like I have to do 5 things at the same time.
Yeah, I think we're just a little too old to be doing that.
Nah, man, you got like, I'm sure Dr. Disrespect can tap strafe.
I don't know, man.
Why he plays Warzone?
Yeah. So that's another thing, like in gaming news. Tim the Tatman came back to Warzone. Nick Merckx came back to Warzone, season 3. And a big thing is like they're all trying to get their nukes. So Tim the
Oh yeah,
Tatman,
the nuke runs. That's always a thing. That's like a thing every Call of Duty. You know, every year there's a nuke run.
yeah. So this season, it was like right when the season came out. I've been watching them a lot lately. It's just because they're kind of entertaining. But so Tim the Tatman, I think he was running with like the FaZe clan. They were trying to get him a nuke. I think it was them. And so Timmy died like almost to the end of the game, and he's just spectating. And then they got the nuke, and then he was all like, "Oh, a win is a win. I'm gonna take it," even though he didn't really help out.
Didn't get the nuke though.
Yeah, so technically he didn't get the nuke, but like he still has it on his record as a nuke. So Dr. Disrespect's over there like making fun of him, saying, "Timmy, like you didn't do nothing, you didn't help."
Mhm.
So cut to Dr. Disrespect getting his nuke. He's playing with Z-Laner and Destroy.
Okay.
And so they're a really good duo together. And then they have like Dr. Disrespect on their back because like he's getting carried so hard.
Yeah.
So they're on their nuke run, and Dr. Disrespect doesn't know what to do. He's just like, "Oh, should I land on you? Should I land on a building? Like, what should I do?" Ends up dying at the end, and he's just standing there watching them like defend the nuke. So they get the nuke, and he's like, "Oh, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy." While he's dead, like with his one
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of ironic, but
It's kind of cringy, man. I remember watching the nuke runs when the last Warzone came out. So they were kind of fun. I don't know. Not my kind of content.
yeah, it looks really hard to do that. There's like so much stuff you have to do, and then you're basically fighting the whole lobby towards the end.
Oh yeah, because once you have the nuke, it puts a beacon on you, so everybody's coming for you no matter what, man. It's hard, and they're all and not only are they all coming for you, but they're all stream snipers too. So I don't know, dude. It's tough. It's tough to watch. It just gives me stress. I just stress out.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's tough.
so other with like gaming news, you heard about the Xbox? I don't know if it's a leak or I think it was a leak, and then like I think social media made it bigger than it actually was.
Well, I think there's like a 50-50 truth to it. So initially what I heard was they were bringing some like major exclusives from Xbox over to PlayStation. So they were talking like Gears of War, Starfield, which I think Starfield is actually still one of the announced ones. I think there were a couple other franchises. I don't know if Halo was brought up in there or not, but it was a pretty big deal. They were kind of just title dropping a bunch of games that were supposedly going over to different platforms. And then all that kind of went away, and then it like sprung up again that they were seriously considering like bringing a few games. And I think some of those games was like once again Starfield. I think it was like Senua's Sacrifice Part Two or something. I have to find the list again, but it wasn't like major exclusives like people thought it was gonna be. Like it wasn't Gears of War or Halo or like Forza Motorsports. But I do think Starfield was on there, which I think makes sense, man, because Starfield did really bad on Game Pass. I think they thought Starfield was gonna like really like bump up the sales and subscription for Game Pass, but it just wasn't a good game. Like nobody wanted to play it, especially on Game Pass. Like you even if you did want to play it, you got to put time into it, and I don't feel like it's the type of game that you should put on Game Pass. I feel like you should have made people pay for it as an exclusive and then eventually put it on Game Pass like they've done with other titles. But Starfield was kind of boring, like staring at dirt for like 2 hours. We're
Yeah,
done.
that's what I heard. Even like watching gameplay, like I think Mr. Fruit was playing it,
Mhm.
and it did look boring. It's just like a bunch of empty planets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that like it's not a triple A game. It's just there wasn't anything about it that could keep me attached to it. Not like Skyrim or Fallout. Like I like those games, and I kind of thought this was going to be more of the same, but it was almost like too much more of the same for games that came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, anyways, like I think like Gears of War would probably be cool on PlayStation. Because I had tweeted out like a while ago. I think it was when Halo Infinite came out. Like Halo Infinite felt really good with the PS5 controller. Because if you get it on Steam, you can play with any controller you want. So I had the PS5 controller and I was playing
Like you're cheating.
multiplayer. Like it felt really good. Like it felt like it should have been a PS5 controller instead of an Xbox controller.
Where's my controller? Hold up. So I picked up the Scuff controller over the holidays. It was the Envision. As you can see, it's got the parallel sticks, just like the PlayStation, but it's got the Xbox buttons. Hello. So it's like I kind of got the best of both, too, so to speak.
I mean, technically they're the same. It's still the same like diamond layout.
Yeah. I don't see colors. I don't see cash as money.
Good times, good times. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, I'd like to see more like Xbox-ish exclusives land on other platforms, especially on PlayStation. I mean, it's just I honestly don't know what Xbox is doing like financially. Um, like I still don't know what's going on with that whole Activision acquisition thing. Like I don't know what. I guess I just don't know like what to make of all this stuff that's been going on with Xbox. I'm just not seeing anything really that gets me excited. It's kind of crazy that hearing that exclusives are going to like PlayStation is like the biggest news. It's like it's not even like how Xbox is doing as a company. It's like, oh, they're losing titles to PlayStation basically. So whatever.
Yeah,
PC Master Race.
but honestly, I mean, it's gonna help them out in the long run. Selling their titles to other, to PlayStation the most.
Yeah.
And like, do you think they're still gonna come out with consoles? Because I think they lost so much money like in the console war that it probably won't even be worth it to make consoles, to just make games.
I think PlayStation and Nintendo still will. Just because I feel like you kind of have to have that target audience still. I mean, like, especially if they're selling, like if PlayStation is just outselling like everything all the time when it comes out with a new console, then there's no reason for them not to make one. What I heard was that Xbox was trying to think of more of a upgrade path, that every time a new generation of console came out, you could like upgrade or you could mod it almost in the same way that you could update a PC. But something that was more like structured, like within a system. Like you have to submit something to Microsoft and you have to like spec out what kind of upgrade you want, almost like a PC build. But that rumor was like maybe a year ago, so I don't even know if that's still a thing. But I can still see consoles being a thing for like a few more generations, especially when it comes to PlayStation. And definitely Nintendo, because they're the only sort of like exclusive handheld license that's out there. Like I'm not counting Steam Deck and the ROG and all that, because that's basically just PC gaming handheld. But because Nintendo's exclusive and they have their exclusive titles, I think they'll continue to keep pumping out their handheld consoles too, just for the exclusivity.
Yeah, what was crazy with the Switch is that their technology is like so far behind, but yet they
Like
still
PS3 era now.
yeah, but they still sell like so much shit.
Yeah. It's just that mind share, that like loyalty mind share. It's kind of like how Apple is. It's kind of like how Nvidia is. Like it doesn't matter. People are gonna buy it, and it's crazy because like I have a Steam Deck now, and going from like games on the Switch to games on the Steam Deck is just so different, bro. Like the Steam Deck is just so good compared to the Switch, but the Switch has those exclusive titles that you can't get anywhere else. So for that reason, it's still going to have a use case.
Yeah, and I think isn't the Steam Deck like double the price of a Switch?
I think it depends on what model. So what, you can get a Switch brand new for about $300 still, and I think the most entry level Steam Deck you can get is like $350. So it's not that much different. The downside is that entry level Steam Deck, it doesn't come with a lot of storage space, but you can upgrade that if you want to. So you can crack it open and drop an M.2 in there and give yourself a terabyte. which is actually more cost saving than if you were just to buy like the $600 Steam Deck with more memory. So there's more things you can do with it and tweak.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like the PlayStation 5 where you can update the memory on it. But just don't buy the PS5 officially licensed M.2s because you're gonna pay double, triple the prices for the same thing.
It's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. Yeah. Don't be afraid to do your own research because there's much cheaper and better alternatives out there.
Especially now, like memory or like storage is so cheap now.
Yeah.
You can
It's
get
almost
a
1-to-1.
yeah, you get a terabyte for like maybe like $100, maybe even cheaper now.
I think it's cheaper. You can probably get a terabyte. I think the terabyte that I bought for Michelle's system was an M.2, and I think I only paid like 85 for a terabyte. So it's even cheaper depending on where you go. Obviously, brand matters, but as long as you're getting the specs that you want out of it, I mean, they all come from the same freaking silicone factory. So you heard it from the experts.
Yeah, even Austin Evans did a video on it that he put a M.2 in the PS5 that was like lower like speed and writes that is like recommended or that PS5 want or PlayStation wants in their PlayStation, and it still worked.
Yeah, because the whole thing is PlayStation wanted to make sure that you maintain like a high like read and write speed for the exclusive games, but like even the one that they have in the system isn't even taking advantage of like those high speeds. So I saw him, and I think I saw Digital Foundry did a test with like Ratchet and Clank. I think they were doing like the play like demo thing they did, but like games that were taking advantage of like the high like write speeds, and even the slower ones were giving you the exact same performance. So it's all gimmicky at the end of the day. But I feel like unless you're into the PC stuff, you're not really gonna know to look for those type of things.
That's true.
So we are fortunate.
That's true because thinking from like my console days, like I didn't know anything about PCs, so I feel like I would be in the same boat as this people like looking at the M.2s and not even knowing like what I'm looking at.
Now we're addicted.
Yeah, for real.
Now we're addicted to the PC Master Race. Let's go.
Wah, 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 wah.
Confetti flying everywhere. All right. Well, I guess that's kind of it for gaming news. Nothing super exciting. I was gonna talk about some tech news too, but like, there's not really anything exciting in the tech world. I mean, like, Nvidia is just putting out the same like expensive ass GPUs, expecting them people to pay money for it, which most of them are. So, not calling them stupid, but they're being scammed.
Yeah.
I think I'm just waiting for the next gen of cards to see what's good.
Isn't that this year though?
It's supposed to be like supposedly mid-year, like summer. Nvidia is going to announce like the next generation card. So I don't know what that's going to look like, because I feel like the 4090 kind of fucked up everything. You know, like the gap between the 4090 and everything else was like so huge that that's the only expectation that they've hit that people actually care about now. Like if they put out a card that matches like a 4080 next year, I mean, like, is it really that big of a deal at this point? It's like, well, what about like 4090 performance, you know, on a new generation? Like why can't I get a 5070 Ti to outperform a 4090? So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited for Team Red still because, you know, that's my team. I'm still Team Red. Carlos is Team Green now.
Yes.
Rude ass.
So it actually helps for me because so I've been multi-streaming lately. So I've been doing the YouTube and I've been doing Twitch at the same time. So because I use OBS, there is a plugin that I downloaded that you can use to multi-stream. So I use the regular settings on the OBS for YouTube, and I can use the AV1 encoder for YouTube, and then on the plugin I can use like the NVENC encoder for Twitch, so I can have different resolutions for different platforms.
That's
and
pretty cool.
and yeah, like I don't drop frames, like everything, like it just runs like super smooth besides my bit rate.
I think that's the only reason why I'd want to go to Nvidia. Like, it has nothing to do with the the gaming performance per se. I just want the encoder because the encoder is just better. I mean, I've been using my CPU cores to stream on Twitch. Um, catch me on Twitch. Um, like like an hour, 2 hours at a time. Like sometimes me and Michelle will throw up a stream, but it looks okay. Like it doesn't look bad for like a 720p output, but you can probably do a much higher output with the NVENC encoder than even with my CPU. So
Yeah, so for Twitch I keep it 720p because it's just like the bit rate for Twitch is like the highest is like 6,000,
yeah,
but even if you put it at 6,000 it still doesn't look that good. So on the YouTube side of things, I do my bit rate around 6 7,000, and you can choose what resolution you want to watch it in. So it has 1440p, 1080p, 720p, and like 480 if you're like really struggling on your bandwidth. But I think that's really cool because it takes it out of my hands to like only give you one resolution like on
yeah, that's
Twitch.
true. That's true. Um, yeah, actually, with that being said too, like I've kind of considered wanting to go to YouTube just because it gives you a higher bit rate. But I don't even know if my internet can handle it. With my 20, I got 20 megabytes now though. It's better than it used to be.
Well,
Or
that
20
that's what
gigabytes.
that's what I have too, like the upspeed.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think we have the same package now.
I do the 6,000 for YouTube, and then I do like 3,000 for Twitch.
I think I've got my Twitch at 4,000 right now, and it's 720p. Like if you're watching on a handheld device, or like a tablet, it actually looks pretty smooth. But once I fucking put that on a monitor, it looks a little choppy. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
it looks really like boxy and pixelated.
Yeah,
So I'll go back and look at mine, and I'm just like, damn, how do people watch this?
yeah. I mean, it was especially like when you played Apex when you go through like the grass, and you just saw this like shit everywhere. Like, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for your 4080. So
Thanks,
we'll see.
man.
We'll see if I go Team Green in the new gen. No promises.
All right, so moving on. So we just finished with the Super Bowl. Um, I was going for not the 49ers. I know too many 49er fans, and I didn't want to hear their victory. So I've already heard a bunch of KC victories, and it's fine. Like I don't really know anybody that likes KC, like is actual like fan. So I wasn't gonna hear anything.
Kind of like you're used to it at this point, Like it was to me, it was the lesser of evils.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, I was kind of rooting for the 49ers because I'm like, you know what? I got a lot of family that's Niner fans. I do have friends that are Niner fans. So I was kind of like semi cheering for the Niners. But as soon as the game was over, I'm just like, yeah, nah. Like you deserve it. But yeah, otherwise KC won again. That's what, 4 total Super Bowls from them now? And
Three.
is it 3? And then these were back to back. So they want to go for a 3-peat next year, probably with all the same players. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really dislike Patrick Mahomes, but I know a lot of people don't like Patrick Mahomes. So, and I mean, for you, it's different because Chiefs are in your division as a Raiders fan, so that's a hard pill to swallow. So I'm looking at it from a different point of view than you are, obviously, but I don't dislike Patrick Mahomes.
I don't. I mean, I do dislike him. Just because just the way he talks, like his demeanor, his like everything. He sounds like Kermit. Um, I'm here. I'm
The boys
here.
played hard. The boys played really hard. Couldn't do it without him. Grace of God.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
get me.
so I mean, the one good thing about the Raiders is that they were the last one to beat them
Yeah,
last year.
that's true.
So
I think the year coming up is going to be pretty good because I mean, like you really got to see a lot of talent this year. Like my Packers went way further than I ever anticipated them going in the season. I was low key hater at the beginning of Jordan Love. I'm like, man, like he's not the answer. This isn't it. And then like he started to just progress and progress, and I'm just like, well, damn, this might be our franchise quarterback. So I was still pleased with the way our season ended this year.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are gonna have a hard time with the quarterbacks because we have Aiden O'Connell, which
Hmm.
he did pretty decent this year. I don't want to say he was good. I don't want to say he was bad because he was neither. He was just he was getting the job done.
Hmm.
A lot of I think we need better receivers, like to put on the side of Devonte Adams because like Devonte Adams is a big name, but he doesn't get the ball a lot.
Not when you're double covering him all the time.
Yeah,
You
but I
know.
mean, him being like a big name as he is, like a double coverage shouldn't be that hard for him to get the ball.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we're just couch quarterbacks.
Gosh, quarterbacks. We know what's better for the teams. We understand better than anybody. I mean, that's at least the case when we talk about fantasy football.
Yeah. So what happened? Dun, da, da, da.
This is what happened, baby. Back to back. The two-time, just like Dr. Disrespect, just like the Chiefs. Michelle was so annoyed with me, dude, because every week I'm just like, oh, this roster sucks. I hate this season. My team sucks. I can't do shit. And just like I slowly kept just like coming back and coming back and coming back. So yeah, well fought. That was fun.
Yeah, fantasy football is a crazy game because I mean, if you look at like Miggy's situation where he was number one throughout the whole year, and then he lost in the first game of the playoffs.
You never know, man. It's true. It's true. Cause like it kind of happened to me like 4 seasons ago. I think I was like the number one player too, and I think I got knocked out the first round too. So you never know, dude. Like your roster is so different from the end of the year than the beginning of the year. Like the players that saved my squad were just like undrafted waiver wire people. Like half of my roster was waiver wire, and like they were just all my key players were just falling off like flies, bro. like like what was his name? Fucking from the Chargers, their wide receiver.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, bro. Like all of a sudden I just don't have him for 4 straight games and it just happens to be during the playoffs. I'm just like, this is stupid. This is not happening. So I had to find a substitution for him, bro. It was rough, but we got it. We got it done.
Yeah, that's cool. I was fighting for my life not to get the Sacco award. Dude,
Who had the-
I started the season so bad, and I
yeah.
don't know why. Like I had a lot of good players, and I was just
Mhm.
like 1 in like 4 or something. And by that time, I was pretty much out of it. But I kept with it, and then towards the end, I won like 4 out of 5 games, but it was already too late.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a lot of close games too, though. There's a couple close games that definitely hurt me, and just like some screwy weeks, man, where like your player, like normally projecting like 18, 19 points, will get like 2 or 3. It was just so like up and down throughout the whole season. It was actually kind of a wild season, probably because there's a lot of rookies, man. A lot of rookies this year. It's kind of crazy. Like, did you see the statistic for how many different starts there were at quarterback for the season?
I think maybe I did. I don't remember
Did
the
like
exact
did we
number.
talk about that at all ever?
I don't think so.
So it was like I want to say it was actually in like maybe late October, maybe mid December. It was like 3 quarters of the season, and they had already said how there had been more than like 50 different starts at quarterback since the beginning of the season. And I'm like, that is crazy, dude. That's crazy. Because I mean, like, you have 32 teams, right? So you're given 32 no matter what. But to add like another like 20 plus on top of that from different starters, it's just like, it's true when you look at teams that were going to their third string, fourth string quarterback. Even teams that like with kickers, bro, they were going into the depth charts for their kickers. Like they didn't even have enough kickers on the squad. So it was a freaking crazy season, dude.
It is crazy. Yeah, I'm ready for next year already for the next
Yeah.
fantasy game.
Not ready for the Doyers? Isn't it baseball season now?
It is. They are in spring training right now. The Dodgers
Yeah.
got Shohei Ohtani for the next 10
Wow.
years.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know some Angels fans that would be pretty disappointed in that one. So
Really? You know Angel
no
fans?
comment. There's some Angels fans at my job.
Oh, okay.
Very little. Yeah.
I
Yeah. What
mean,
was I gonna say?
they only
There
have
was a
themselves to blame.
Yeah. I honestly have no comment because like you know how my aptitude for baseball is. Like maybe during the playoffs. I don't follow baseball at all, dude, throughout the year.
I mean,
So
maybe this is the year that you actually get into your
I just
team.
I just blame baseball for like every opportunity that like we have to either like hang out or play video games because you're just like I can't. There's a game on. Like I can't. There's a game on. I'm like, bro, there's a game on like 7 days a week. Like, like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
uh,
it's because when I get into like a sport, like I actually get into it. It used to be like that for basketball. Back like in the Kobe days, like I would never miss a game.
yeah,
I would make it like an actual thing, like to make sure that I watched it. Went to bars to watch it. Now it's just like I get an alert the score, and I'm like, oh, they lost again. All right, cool.
yeah. So like, I was gonna say like you're not really that into basketball as like you used to be. Like your Lakers team, I feel like isn't even really. I don't even know what the Lakers look like nowadays.
Well, they still have James, they still have Davis, and then they just have like a team like built around them.
Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, I don't really watch basketball anymore, man. Kind of sad. I don't know anybody. They're all kids to me. They're like 18-year-old kids playing pro sports.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, we are at that age. Like I think LeBron is still like 2 years older than me, and
Yeah.
or like a year older than me, and it's still crazy to think that. Because like I do yard work, dude, and I'm like dying the next day. Like I don't understand how he does it being older than me.
You gotta be careful, bro. Like every move he makes is like he's watched. He's just like step here, step here. Don't turn that way too fast. Don't turn that way too fast. I'm a year older than Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is or maybe he's a year older than me. I don't know. He's either a year older or I'm a year older, but we're basically the same age, and he looks old as fuck.
Yeah, he looks like
Like
he's 50.
like like I don't think I would have torn my ACL like running across the field, but you never know. I'm honestly so glad he's not my quarterback anymore. Like I can like say that without burden now that like Love had such a good year. I'm like, you know what? Like I've shed this burden from my body. Like go do your fucking silent retreat with ayahuasca or whatever it is. Go live your life in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I guess that's it for sports. We skipped over movies or any movies that you want to talk about.
Uh,
Web.
so a movie that we did see together was Iron Claw. I'll talk
Oh my
about Madam
god.
Web right now, though.
No spoilers for Iron Claw. We can talk about Iron Claw too, but like no spoilers. I've talked to people that actually do want to watch that movie, but we can talk about Madam Web. I don't give a shit if you spoil that movie. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Madam Web.
well, just real quick about Iron Claw, like that was a really good movie. I did not expect it to be that good of a movie.
I was stressed out, bro. I had like if you remember, I had an anxiety attack like midway through the movie. I had to step out and get air for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh no, this isn't happening, and I had to step out. That's how intense, bro. That's how intense that movie is.
Yeah, it was a really good movie, especially because I didn't know what to expect going into it. Like I know it had to do with wrestling, but that's all I knew about it.
Yeah, I actually like looked into the history too of like the Von Erich family and just all the tragedy surrounds it, and that wasn't even the whole story, dude. Like there's even more in real life that they didn't even have time to incorporate into the movie that just makes you think even more so that how jacked up that family is. So yeah, that it's a recommend. Brotech recommend. Go watch Iron Claw if you're in for a sad treat.
Yeah, make sure you bring some tissues for the tears because they will be coming.
They will be coming. Yeah, it was a rough one.
All right, so a little sidestep over to superhero movies because we all love it and we're not tired of them and we're
Not
no
tired of
no
superhero
fatigue
movies.
over here.
Even superhero movies that don't even tie into the superhero cinematic universe, we're still over. But continue.
Yeah, so we went to go watch a movie called Madam Web, and okay. So before I went to go see the movie, so there's gonna be spoilers. So big spoilers right here. Um, I was already seeing that there was like bad like critic reviews on it already, and usually I don't really pay attention to the critic reviews because they're like old people and blah blah blah. But anyways, So after watching the movie, I came out and I was just like, it wasn't that bad. It just had a lot of bad parts to it. What's up, everybody? Sorry for the interruption, but after rewatching the podcast and editing, I've had time to think about this movie and it was not good. Don't waste your money on it. If you can wait till it comes out on Disney Plus, if it comes out on Disney Plus, watch it on there, but don't waste your money on it. Now, back to the show. Like,
Well,
there was,
supposedly it was better than Morbius, according to the tomatoes.
yeah, I didn't
There's
watch
that.
it.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in that movie that didn't make sense. But it has good actors in it. It had what's her name, Dakota from 50 Shades of
Dakota
Grey.
Johnson.
Yeah,
50
Dakota
Shades, Dakota
Johnson.
Johnson. It had Sydney Sweeney, who's she's the white blonde girlfriend in Euphoria. She was also in season 1 of
The Lotus.
The Lotus, White Lotus.
Yeah.
She's kind of getting her 15 right now, apparently.
Yeah, she's a good. So okay, so another thing about her. So I like Sydney Sweeney. Like, I think she's a cool actor. So me and Karen were watching a movie called Anyone But You. Yeah, especially that too. And and so we were watching that movie, and it's like a rom-com. The movie wasn't bad. I would watch it again. It was pretty good. But like, her acting, it just was weird.
Forced.
Yeah, like she seemed like really just like down all the time. Like, she wasn't like excited, or she wasn't like, I don't know. It was just weird. I can't really explain it. So I was telling Karen, I was like, okay, so we'll see how her acting is in Madam Web, and see if it's the same. Then she's just a bad actor, or she just didn't have like a good acting experience in Anyone But You. Okay. And okay, so I'm watching Madam Web, and like, she's talking, and she's like this nerdy, like 17-year-old, like nerdy white girl. And I was just 17. Yeah, so all the girls in there, like all 3 of the girls are like underage teenage girls, and I'm just like, why? Like, they didn't need, like,
they didn't need to put an age on him. Dakota Johnson's like 40.
No, not her, but the
the other girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Dakota Johnson is like Madam Web, I guess. Like, I don't know anything about Madam Web. I just know it has to do something with the Spider-Verse, because they still have like Ben Parker in there. Ben Parker was her partner, like in the ambulance.
Oh yeah. And so it's like a I guess you could call it a prequel.
Yeah, because it takes place in 2003.
Yeah, gotcha. The Tobey Maguire days.
Yeah, so Peter Parker, like, he's technically in the movie, but not really, because his mom is pregnant with him, and they're doing this whole like baby shower thing where they try to like guess the name of the baby, and it's like, as an audience, you know what the baby's name is, but everyone's just saying like, oh, like, is it Sam, is it David, is it like, and then they never give us the name, so they gave us blue balls on that.
And you gotta leave it for the sequel.
Yeah, so they were heavily implying that there was going to be a sequel, and I don't think there's going to be a sequel. There was no after credit scene. But yeah, like, the end of the movie, it didn't make sense to me. So like, again, like, I know nothing about Madam Web. I don't know her backstory, her origin story. So I think this was an origin story for her, but I don't know, it didn't stick with me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still experiencing enough of the Marvel fatigue where I'm not even gonna go watch. Like, if I'm not gonna watch like the big budget, like AAA Marvel movies, I'm definitely gonna not watch like the lower end ones. I am gonna want to watch Deadpool, because that actually did look pretty good. Maybe on another podcast we could talk about the Super Bowl commercials, because there were some funny ones. But yeah, they had the Wolverine trailer and Deadpool trailer come out. I'm excited for that one. And I guess I kind of want to watch Echo, only because I like the more like violent action that they used to have during like Daredevil and Punisher, which I feel like they're kind of taking it back to that. So I will give it a chance. Otherwise, man, I'm not watching anything Marvel, like, ever. Not DC either. DC just let me down completely. There's no hope for comic books anymore.
Yeah, I just feel like they oversaturated the like superhero movie genre with just I think they had a feeling that anything that they put out was just gonna be a hit. I think they
Yeah,
realized that with She-Hulk was like a complete disaster, and
that was pretty bad.
I hated the guts off of that show.
That was
And
pretty
that was like the
bad.
first show that I legit hated.
That's kind of where it all kind of downturned too, because if you think about it, like every show that sort of come out around that time just completely fell off. So that's why I want to watch Echo because I don't hear anything about it. So maybe that means it's good enough to where people aren't trashing it. I
But
guess we'll see.
it's on Disney Plus already, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get to it.
we recently just watched the Marvels with Captain Marvel and Photron, or I don't know if that's her name, and the Indian. Um,
Yeah,
that movie, that movie was bad. I know like a lot of people were saying like it was really good, and New Rockstars was over there praising it, and I was like, I went through the comments because I was like, no way, like everybody liked this movie, but like everybody liked the movie in the comments. But I'm just like, how? Like, even like the parts that I hated, people are like, oh yeah, that was like the best part of the movie and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, were we watching the same movie? Like,
they said that about Quantumania too. They said that about Quantumania. They said that about God. There was another movie that came out after Quantumania. What are all the Marvel movies that just come out recently? Besides like Marvels, I think Marvels was the most recent one, right? And you had Ant-Man and Quantumania. Uh,
there hasn't really been a lot. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably the
oh,
best
Guardian.
one.
I still haven't even watched Guardians 3,
Really,
which is
that
crazy.
one's a really good movie. I'd recommend that one.
Maybe I'm just holding on to it because I don't want to be disappointed. But I don't know why we haven't watched that one yet. I
That
don't know,
one's
man.
really good.
I think it's because I'm holding out for like more legit, like movie theater cinematic movies. Like Oppenheimer came out, and then like Dune comes out in 2 weeks. And, like those are the movies I'd rather see in theaters than watch any of the Marvel movies. So, but I need to go back and watch Guardians. Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
cool plug. Disney Plus.
Can watch it on
Subscribe now.
your 85-inch TV.
86.
Oh, 86. My bad. Every inch counts.
it's it's only a big TV. It's not even that nice to be honest. The color is okay, but like you can see a lot of backlight bleed in certain scenes. So I feel like that's common though. Unless you get an OLED, you're always gonna get backlight bleed. My
Yeah,
ass is not spending 5Gs on an OLED.
yeah. All my
Every one of
TVs
them.
have backlight too.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But it's cool when you got friends over watching football games and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, so I think that's it for our list.
I think that wraps it up for today. We don't want to oversaturate y'all with too much content on day one. We got to spread it out for 2024, even though it's February now. But yeah, I mean, we'll try to get another one out soon, hopefully sooner than later. We went 3 months the first time and we went 6 months the second time. So I hope we don't do 9 months the next time.
Nah, I
But
don't think so.
I'm pretty much like settled in now. So like no, nothing's holding me back on my end now. So Carlos is still jobless. So he definitely got a lot of time for podcasts right now.
Yeah, I got a lot of time to update or to edit.
We could do one every day.
I mean,
If
technically
you
we
want
could.
to. I don't think I could do one every day. But we will get one in soon. We will get one in soon for sure. For sure. So
Definitely.
all right, Carlos, you can take us out, my man.
All right, thank you guys for watching the BroTech Gaming Podcast. It's been a while since I said that.
And listening.
So check out all our links in the description below. We're gonna have our Twitches, our YouTubes, Discords on there, link to Spotify where you can listen to this on the radio if you know how to do that.
For the few like 3% that listen on Spotify,
Yeah, if
you
you're
know what to do.
if you're at work and you have your headphones in and you don't want to watch us, you just like our voice, just thank you for listening.
We have nice voices.
Yeah, they're all right.
I know I have a nice voice because I put people to sleep. So when I do training at my job, they get sleepy. I'm like, it must be just the soothing sound of my voice, like Bob Ross.
All right. And with that, we are out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
Deuces.
Subscribe, follow us, do all the good stuff.
We'll get better at the outros. as
Yeah, we
take
we
this
got to
up
get back
again.
into it.
All right, peace out, everybody.
Bye.